Hi everyone, in this Hoya highlight featuring my Hoya macrophylla, now known as latifolia, I will be showing you with comparative proof as to how to get a Hoya such as this, which did not do very well for me, to do very well for everyone. This is the biggest leaves it has, and it is as long as my hand. This is the fattest leaf. Okay, and it is blooming with a very floral and a tinge of spicy fragrance. Look how beautiful the pink tinges are and the yellow and white middle parts. This was a total surprise. It had some more petals on this side, but that has fallen. Right, so this is not a full bloom. There are a lot of unhardened or not hardened am I making words, dainty leaves still, and this is trellised to this balcony railing, which is a must when it comes to a Hoya leaf which is growing fat, heavy and long. Okay, for them to go from these to these and then to these and to these, they need a trellis. Okay. Would you believe that this Hoya macrophylla was once like this current Finlaysonii? And would you believe that this Finlaysonii was 40 feet tall, the biggest and the most beautiful Hoya specimen I had a few years ago in my Hoya highlight videos also. You wouldn't, right? Because even I myself cannot believe it. It's doing much better now, but here in this cold climate, this leftover cutting or the cuttings are not thriving in a semi-hydro setup. I might have to repot in the same setup again, even though my Marilia is thriving in it, right? Or I might have to just put it into Coco peat, which will never fail, was the secret weapon to growing my Hoya macrophylla this better. These what you see are sun stresses coming from the east, because the light hits these directly during the few days which we had a spike of sun, and rest of the days were like this, raining and a bit of sun, right? So if chlorophyll does not fill in, this sun stress will remain when they harden, when they come up to this, but it's not an ailment, right? You guys know even in green leaves sun stressing happens, definitely. Okay, so others are doing well in semi-hydro, but here when it comes to this pot of gold also, it did not do well, and it started losing its variegation also. What I did was pot it in coco peat and then spray high phosphorus and high potassium fertilizer, which you already know as a bloom booster or a bloom starter too. That is a tip that I'm giving you to enhance any variegation that you are losing in your Hoya. Here, once you pot it in coco peat and once you give it a good railing and a bit of fertilizer, mostly high nitrogen at first because we need more green and luscious leaves, they will grow on their own, and once they come into a certain matured state, will bloom on their own. You do not have to spray bloom enhancers. But if they keep on growing and being lazy to bloom, which is the main purpose of growing a Hoya, even though we grow for the beautiful leaves, you can spray a bloom booster, right? So the tips which I'm giving you here is, if your Hoya is not thriving in a certain media, you can go ahead and change the media from an inorganic media to an organic media, or from an organic media to an inorganic media. Okay, no matter how much it rains on this, a matured specimen can handle it. Coco peat, if it's brand new, can last up to 1 year without being repotted. An example, the plugs that you find in another epiphyte of orchid, it's an orchid and a phalaenopsis, right? The plug gets hardened because it's long overdue for a repot, and if you do not know that, and if you do not repot, the plant would die and the nursery knows you will come for another plant, right? So their aim is to just get them sold when they are blooming, and then to just keep repeating that cycle. Your aim should be to find out the side of media when it gets bad and replace it also. So that is my sole inspiration into potting failing Hoyas into coco peat, because here in Sri Lanka it's easily found. We export coconut. It's one of the major exports in Sri Lanka, and freely available to find and very economical. And there's no problems with this, right? If these starts getting mushrooms and such, then it's bad, right? So your trick would be to find out the most brand new coco peat you can, then pot your Hoya in it, tuck it in, and then you are good to go. You can fertilize and water and let it dry. You will find out on your own when they dry, when you put the finger, and according to the size of the pot. So my advice to you is to never be afraid to try a new media and to try a new method when you're growing, because you'll never know what will work. So rather than wasting your money on expensive growing media, I have found coco peat to be very economical, easy to maintain, and just highly adaptable to any environment that you grow in. Try one of these and see, you will see a clear difference, because these are constantly rained on, constantly getting cold spells, but the specimen is strong enough to combat it, because it has the moisture in it, it has the nutrition in it, it has the aeration in it when it comes to coco peat. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.